Till now, we have seen the countries which are fighting against their colonial masters. We have discussed the emergence of Russia into a very communist democratic setup. We have seen the struggle. Till now we have discussed about Vietnam, the struggle between two colonial masters. How did they fight with two colonial masters? How did the entry of US power broke the issue, and how did it re-emerged against it? These all are the factors which we have discussed now. Now we are going to discuss with a nation where it was not at all a nation earlier. Yes, it was not at all a nation earlier. Till now we have discussed about the country which was not at all a country now. Yeah, the twist is this. The country called Nigeria, it is well known for us right now. Nigeria is located in the southwestern part of Africa. The location of Nigeria itself is very clear. Nigeria itself, we get to strike into the mind that oil, petroleum products, a desert region, black people, colored people, slave people, the native African people. These are the images what we get into the idea of the word Nigeria. But in actual practice, Nigeria was not at all in existence before the Britishers colonized it. The twist is here. The Britishers are the people who made the nation of Nigeria. Britishers brought some tribal people together in three different parts and formed a different nation, emerged a new country. This was a step taken by the colonial master for the first time in the history where we have seen. So, the struggle for independence also was very difficult here because these people were never a nation. So, they have to fight their internal disputes at the same time. They have to fight their common enemy. It's a very interesting concept here. Let us see how did these groups fight against the colonial master, that to a mighty power like Britishers. Now, who are the tribal groups who were brought together? Hausa Fulani is the northern region of Nigeria occupied by these tribal people, and they are mostly Muslim people. They follow the traditions and customs of Islam religion. Coming to the other one, Yoruba tribe. Yoruba tribe, most of them south of Yoruba are Christian dominated region, or like Christian religion is famous here because of the efforts made by the missionaries who are present there. Now, coming to the other region, it is known as Igbo region or the Igbo tribal people. Now, the twist is here, all these people are the tribal people. Why did I mention the word twist here is that if we are well educated, if you know the concept of liberty, equality, fraternity, the growing revolutions, the communistic changes, the Russian Revolution, the China uprising, or the liberal movements in France, the glorious revolutions in Britain, or the American War of Independence, if you read, write, or have an understanding, then we can discuss about the concept of nationalism, or we can merge it into the people, the idea of nationalism. But here, these people are tribal people. They are very much deeply connected with the forest regions. They have their own superstitions. They believe very strongly in their own superstitions. They never ever have gone through or have an idea of what is happening around the world of them. So now it is a real challenging task of the people of the emerged Nigeria because of the steps taken by the colonial master by uniting these three groups of people like Hausa Fulani tribal group of Muslims and for Yoruba tribal group of Christians and the Igbo tribal group. These three tribal groups are again different tribal groups. They are not a same or unique tribal groups. Each one has their own customs and their own traditions, which finally will lead them to get towards the ultimate unification of Nigeria. Here we have two concepts here. First thing is, religions are different and their feelings are different. Their connectivity is different. They are different tribal groups. Common connectivity is they all are tribal groups. The next concept is they have to fight with their internal enemies as well as with the external enemy or the colonial master who is ruling them, so that they can get to the clarity of the unification or the independence of Nigeria. Now let us see how did these three tribal people emerge and form into an independent nation of the present existing Nigeria, the world's dominant oil producer, Nigeria. Let us have a flashlight on the history of Nigeria, on the struggle of the three tribal groups emerging into a separate nation. Now, let us see here, how did the name of Nigeria come up to the world? The word river Niger has brought an excellence for the river country's name Nigeria, because the region which is around the river Niger is called as the region of Nigeria, which later the Britishers have taken. But even before the arrival of the Britishers, we have a glorious history for Nigeria. It's not in the sense of their gloriousness in their past cultures, but the people of Nigeria were world famous. How are they world famous? What made them world famous? The concept is not that they are because of their talented, but because of the thing is, up to 16th century, the Americans need slaves. It means the Britishers need slaves in America to work in their fields. Most of the Americans who are settled in now got migrated from the Britain to America during the early part of the 16th century. So in the large fields, who can work very hard? Basically, Britishers are, the climatic condition of British is completely cold, pleasant and very romantic climatic conditions, where you don't have extremely hot climatic conditions or extremely cold climatic conditions. And these kind of people can't do much hard work in the fields. But when it comes to the country like Nigeria, where equator passes very close to them, and we have the dark skinned people or colored people, or literal word Negroes who stay here, they can do work hard. So up to 16th century, the slaves, especially the region of river Niger, the tribal people are caught in the tribal regions and exported to America to work in the agricultural fields. In this way, the slave trade center was the river Niger region. This made Nigeria a world famous region of the 16th century. Later, when Abraham Lincoln has banned the slave trade and strictly implemented this one, this made the changes that the drop of the slaves has brought the idea down. But later, the other important factor which attracted the people towards Nigeria is Niger, and the other one is palm oil and cocoa growth. Palm oil is used in the entire world, but the production is very less in the other parts of the region. And cocoa, which is used in the chocolates of all the Cadbury's and all these things, we need the production of it in a very high rate. So this is another factor which drives the attention of the world towards the Nigerian country. The Britishers have contributed to their ever level of extent to the uprising of Nigeria by occupying a region on the western part of Nigeria, that is, the region name is Lagos, which was later emerged as the capital of Lagos. Now in the Lagos, they have developed the port region and all the things, and they made it to turn into a excellent water transport or hubbing place for them to transport either for the slaves or for the trade or for the palm oil or for the cocoa. In these major steps were brought into the transformation by the Britishers in 1861, when they have occupied the Lagos and developed it into a port city. The Lagos has also contributed for the further developments which the Britishers could not imagine or could not expect. Let us see what are the further developments which were brought because of the development of Lagos. Now, after the development of the Britishers who developed the Lagos, now we got the concept of the Lagos emerging a place or the main center for the development of Pan-Africanism. What does the word Pan-Africanism mean by? Pan-Africanism is a mean or a true force which binded all the African people. It was a concept which was developed by Nkrumah, who was a leader in Ghana, who gave first the concept of Pan-Africanism. The concepts which are covered in the Pan-Africanism are all African people, irrespective of their tribes, community, races, languages, religion, whatever it is, they all are African people. They all are one group people, and they should fight against the racial discrimination which is experienced by the African nations from many hundreds of years. And at the same time, the unity. We all should be united against any other external aggression power which is uniting or dividing us at any concept of time, using any of the unnecessary, irrelevant human attitudes like color, race or anything else. And he also made that we, using the concept of Pan-Africanism, we have to develop the quality or the incidence of equality in the society, equal respect for all the people in the society, social justice assured for everybody, and finally we have to bring the human dignity at the end for all the African people. So the concept of Pan-Africanism is nothing but we have to forget all our disputes, all our issues. If at all any foreigner coming and attacking us, we all should become together and we all have to fight against the external enemy who is going to address us, who is going to turn us into pieces. And at the same time, we have to fight against the racial discrimination. We all should be united and we have to strive to get the equal status in the society and justice for us, finally leading to the human dignity. Every individual is worth of human dignity. This is the concept of Pan-Africanism, which was given by Nkrumah, the leader of Ghana, who fought for independence struggle in Ghana, which later the Pan-Africanism is the basis for the development of nationalism in Nigeria. So let us see how did the Nigerians adopt the nationalism through the concept of Pan-Africanism. What guided them to reach there? We'll discuss it. Now, let us see here, how did the Britishers see the feeling of the people of the Nigerian people? Britishers, as usual, as it was experienced in the Indian case, the same was experienced in the Nigerian case. See, at the end of the day, they are colonial masters and these people are the people who are colonized. Now, the Nigerians are highly discriminated. The Nigerians' discrimination was in the extreme level as it was in the Indians level. Only thing is they did not mention like Nigerian dogs. The thing is, the Nigerians who are well educated or Africans who are highly educated were excluded from the civil services, and the entrepreneurs who has to do business with the people were also being discriminated on the basis of their origin. So this made the people to feel that they are disconnected with the people of the rulers. At the same time, they had the dual mentality or the dual role. They encouraged the elites and the local group leaders to get connected and gain control over the regions, because the Nigeria is divided into 3 tribal groups and they wantedly divided the west and east again further to have further divisions for them. And the tribal local chiefs were encouraged so much that they could control their own lands and they would not get any resistance from the local people because local leaders are controlling them. And coming to the situation, because of the modern technology which was brought by Britishers in the southern part, we could get highly advanced technical changes when compared to the northern part. The northern part could not get any major changes of development or could not achieve anything truly or successfully, which made them to be remained in the undeveloped sector or the unmodernized sector when in comparable to the south. At the same time, if you see the statistics or the strata of 1939, the Nigeria was still divided by the time of the Second World War. Why did I mention the year 1939 is, the 1939 is the peak of excellence of the Second World War, the initial stages where almost all the countries in the world started to rethink on the formation of the integration or the independence struggles. So during that time also in 1939, the Nigeria was not united. They don't have the concept of nationalism at all in their mind because they were still divided into 3 parts, the west, the east and the north. The Britishers' high and soul land policy was still in tactics in Nigeria, that is the divide and rule policy was still in existence. Now let us see how did the Nigerian people fought against the divide and rule policy, what made them to get united, we'll discuss.